Time once again for Money TV. I'm Donald Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is the program all about money and what makes it happen. Well, there was buzz again recently from the Federal Reserve as Fed Chair Janet Yellen said the Fed was taking a cautious approach to raising rates. Well, you can read that as it isn't going to happen. Yellen said stability in the employment market remains key, but the unemployment numbers we're told by the government and its puppet, the mainstream media, are one of the biggest shams in history. The jobs market in the United States is a joke. People who have left the job market entirely and have stopped looking for work are not factored into the official number. The true employment number is the labor participation rate. That's the percentage of adults actually working. That rate is now at its lowest point in 40 years. Add to that the fact that many of the created jobs ballyhooed by the government and its puppet, the mainstream media, are actually part-time or low-paying jobs, and the jobs market is a bleak picture indeed. Now, Yellen's comments suggested rates will not be going up at the next Fed meeting, but realistically, that means they're not going to be going up at all anytime soon. The U.S. is the biggest borrower of money. Our national debt is approaching a staggering $20 trillion, which if we began to pay down at $1 million per hour, would require 2,300 years to satisfy only the principal. 2,300 years. But if rates to borrow money go up, even by the tiniest of fractions, the U.S. debt could and would explode. Now think, for example, what would happen to your mortgage payment if your interest rate were to go from 3 to, say, 5%. The U.S. government has a $20 trillion mortgage. But you won't hear this from the Fed, the government, or its puppet, the mainstream media. Instead, we hear that the Fed is targeting a 2% inflation rate, or they're looking at the unemployment picture. They'll use just about any excuse they can come up with to avoid raising rates to keep the government debt from growing at an even more meteoric rate than due to higher interest rates. I half expect them to tell us rates are not going to go up until the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, and that actually may be a more accurate prediction. Our national debt at a near zero interest rate increases by $98 million per hour every hour of the day. Imagine what would happen if rates go up, and you'll understand why the Fed's hands are tied. Now here's something to remember, our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449, to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. That is also free, as is the phone call, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.